This is a pivotal moment in Russia's 16-month full-scale conflict in Ukraine and potentially a threat to Vladimir Putin's hold on power. The Russian president has accused Yevgeny Prigozhin, the leader of the Wagner mercenary group, of treason, initiating an armed rebellion, and betraying the country. Welcome to Slant News. If you want to support, you can subscribe to our channel. Prigozhin, a significant figure in Russia, claims that his objective is not a military coup but rather a pursuit of justice. What is happening? For several months, Prigozhin has played a crucial role in Russia's military campaign in Ukraine, recruiting numerous individuals, particularly from Russian prisons, to join his Wagner mercenary group. He has been engaged in an ongoing feud with the military commanders overseeing the war, but this disagreement has now escalated into a full-fledged revolt. Wagner forces have crossed from the occupied eastern part of Ukraine into the major southern Russian city of Rostov-on-Don, asserting that they have gained control of its military installations. President Putin acknowledges the challenging situation but has vowed to do whatever it takes to protect Russia. Is this a coup? Prigozhin dismisses all claims of a military coup as absurd. Initially, the conflict revolved around the military's failure to adequately equip and supply his mercenaries with gear and ammunition. However, it has now transformed into a direct challenge to the authority of Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu and Armed Forces Chief Valery Gerasimov, the two individuals responsible for prosecuting the war. While this may not be a coup at present since there has been no attempt to seize power from the government, it represents an effort to overthrow the top military officials in Russia, thus challenging the president's authority. The entire Moscow region has been placed on high alert under a counter-terrorist operation regime, and major events have been cancelled. Prigozhin claims, "There are 25,000 of us. Everyone who wants to, join us." While this number is insufficient to pose a threat to the president, it presents a challenge to the military leadership. By moving his forces across the border into Rostov, Prigozhin appears to have encircled the military headquarters from where the war is being coordinated, alleging that both the minister and chief of staff have fled. How did this situation develop? Prigozhin has long been a close ally of President Putin and has thrived under his leadership, initially as a wealthy businessman and later as the leader of the Wagner mercenary group. His Wagner fighters suffered significant casualties during the prolonged and ultimately unsuccessful campaign to seize Bakhmut in eastern Ukraine. Prigozhin blamed the military's top brass for the shortage of shells, using graphic videos and profanity-laden social media rants to expose the inadequacies and divisions within Russia's military in Ukraine. While he never directly criticized the president, his sarcastic references to "happy grandfather" were widely interpreted as indirect criticism. Last month, he questioned how Russia could prevail if it turned out that this grandfather is a complete arsehole. Subsequently, in a lengthy outburst on June 23, he declared that the entire justification for the war was a lie, merely a pretext for a small group of scumbags to advance their own interests and deceive the public and the president. Events have rapidly unfolded since then. Prigozhin accused the military of orchestrating a deadly shelling of his men in Ukraine, but the military denied the allegation, and he failed to present his usual array of evidence. Late on Friday, he announced that his "March for Justice" had commenced. His force of 25,000 was deemed a tactical reserve, with the entire army and the entire country serving as their strategic reserve. General Sergei, deputy commander of forces in Ukraine, appealed to Prigozhin to step back and submit to President Putin's authority. However, by the following morning, Prigozhin's forces had reached Rostov and claimed to have taken control of the military headquarters, stating, "We are inside military headquarters." A critical moment for Putin and Russia. While this uprising does not directly challenge Russia's war in Ukraine or the president's leadership, it is serious enough to prompt a determined and unwavering 5-minute televised address from Putin. Prigozhin has not only threatened to establish a stronghold in Rostov but also to advance towards Moscow if his military demands are not met. Until now, his confrontations were primarily focused on obtaining increased weapon supplies from the military. However, he is now directly challenging the military leadership itself. Prigozhin enjoys significant public support in Russia, and even if his challenge were to crumble, this remains a moment of crisis for a military that has relied on his mercenaries in Ukraine. Nevertheless, this also serves as a defining moment for Putin's leadership and a wake-up call for the Russian people. It is too early to predict the ultimate outcome of this situation.